how did we get this far? Like, how did we let this go this far? And then you have to be able to say, yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. I was missing, because it's easy to point the finger outward.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, we're going to take a deep breath. All right. All right.
Yes.
So, hey guys, we're back. Our second episode of How Did We Get Here? And we're so happy to be here because we're here in number 2.
Number 2. How Did We Get Here podcast.
So, I guess the first question you'd ask for, I'd ask you.
Yes.
Is, so how's it been since we posted this, our first episode?
Oh, can I be honest?
You're always honest. That's why we're here.
It was hard. Really? I had to sit in it.
Sit in what?
I had to sit in my feelings.
Oh.
I took a break off social media.
Oh, yes. I saw that.
I don't care how far you are with your story or your past, when you are speaking on it or it's like you have to relive it.
Yeah.
And then I was asking myself the questions like, well, what was the wife was doing at this time? You know, I was the viewer and I had so many questions.
For yourself?
For myself.
Like, you never answered.
Yeah, I never answered.
Yeah. Because it's so fresh.
Yes.
And not fresh in the sense of, but just the emotion that you've probably been like, well, I've gotten past that but you also force yourself to get past it.
Yeah.
To get yourself to get here.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you have to talk about it, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm still a little bit trying to figure out what did happen to that girl that was married.
Yeah.
You question it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then when you have to separate the assignment versus the wife, it's still one person, but the assignment, that intercessor pushes herself, has the feelings and emotions. But I'm still human.
Right.
So I struggled back and forth. So I think that's what I had to sit in. But the feedback and all of the comments, the calls and text messages was amazing. Wasn't it? It was amazing.
It was.
Amazing.
I was pleasantly surprised by people who reached out about it, who like it resonated with.
Yeah.
Who now are like thinking, well, maybe I should decide if it's an assignment or if it's, like I said, a duty. And also, are you able to remove yourself from the assignment?
Yeah.
You know, most importantly. For me, the week was interesting. I'm still trying to get the fact that we have a podcast.
Yes.
So I watch it. I'm just like, how did I get here on a podcast?
First of all.
But then also it made me realize how far I've come.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to talk about it. It doesn't make me cower. It doesn't make me like want to go run.
Yeah.
Before I felt like I joke about it. I felt like it was like a scarlet letter.
Yeah.
That I was divorced. But now it's just like, let's talk about it. Like it's not who defines you. It doesn't make you bad or worse. It's just something that happened. You know? Don't wish it on anybody. But it's just something that happened. And now here we are. So I'm going to ask you this, and I probably know the answer. So we in episode 2. We are. Yes.
And so are we still going with it, even though we sat in it?
Right.
Are we going?
We're going to keep pushing
We
forward.
keep pushing.
Even though one of us and both of us might cry.
That's right. Look, we have our tissue on set.
Yes.
This is a real transparent, and we are healing out loud, in real time.
Yeah, because this episode is going to be very raw.
Yeah, it's raw.
So it's going to be
But we're gonna go for it.
We're gonna just dive in like we always do.
That's right. Because somebody behind the camera needs this.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. You need to hear it, and you need to know that it's okay to not be okay, to finally be okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love it. All right. So today's topic is, who is this woman? Yeah. And so the name of our podcast is How Did We Get Here podcast. So it appears as though in order for us to talk about who we are today, we always have to look backwards to even get to who we are today. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's the challenge. But how can they know how did we get here without
And most importantly, how did we get here? But when you go back to say, as a kid and then deciding as a woman to get married.
Oh,
what transpired for you to even say you wanted to get married?
Yeah.
Or maybe you didn't want to get married. You just pushed into it. So it's interesting because you have to go back in time and say, well, this was who I was then. This is why I wanted those things.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you first.
Oh, darn it.
Do you feel, or let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. It's a 2-part question. Right. Who is the woman that showed up as a wife and what shaped her? So going back into your childhood, because in each relationship, you're going to bring something good, bad, or indifferent, and your spouse is going to bring their things, good, bad, or indifferent. Who showed up as the wife? Can you go back to your childhood?
Yeah, my heart is like literally racing thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was raised in a 2-parent household. My mom was extremely organized, went to work, an accountant. My dad was free loving, free spirit, needed to be wrangled in sometimes. And I was born, I think 2 years after they got married.
Okay.
And I think my dad became a lawyer when I was like 6. But my mom was like super like, get it done. Like you need to, she was the driving, and he'll say that she was the driving force to help him get to where he got, which was he's now a retired criminal court judge. So she did some real work.
Come on.
So, but I watched them and it formed me, but I also know that it formed a person who was supportive, but it was more from my mom. I believe it was just more, again, a duty. Yeah. I don't think it was done out of like a love. I think it was like more financial, structure, organization. We need to live this life. Like these kids need to go to these schools. I think that she just didn't have a chance to really enjoy him. And he was and still is like a free spirit, like loves life, just can't pin him down. But he's also has a part of her, which is structure. So I think for me, I'm rambling, but I think for me, what I saw was just a commitment almost to a fault. So when I got into my marriage, there you go. So if I'm honest, like I got married in 2000, and in 2014, I really was considering getting divorced. Yeah, because my ex and I both were getting our masters, and we were just so in such a bad place. Like it was just ships in the night, freaking like, I don't know, Pakistan and right now America fighting. I mean, it was just bad. And I remember saying to myself, when I went to people, and they were like, oh no, you've been together so long, you're this, that, you'll be able to work. It's just a bad patch. Well, that bad patch turned into 3 years later where I ended up getting divorced anyway. So the person that I had grown up to be was fully committed, was like, you stay in a marriage. My parents stayed in a marriage, and it was, hellfire and brimstone, but they stayed in it. And some days were great and some days were bad. And I believe that some days were great and some days were bad. So I just stayed, the great will outweigh the bad, but it didn't. So I just stayed committed because I felt it was my assignment, and also for my kids, So, but when I look back on it, I always say, and I said it with my parents, that I wish that they had separated earlier on, because it just does so much damage to children, So when I got to the point in 2017, I was like, absolutely not. Like, I am not going to do the same thing where I'm just going to stay married to say I'm married. So I would say the woman that showed up for those 17 plus years was just like, I'm going to keep showing up because it's the right thing to do. And that's what my mom does. So my dad, they stayed married, and they raised my brother and I. And we did have amazing times. But we also had horrifically horrible times that we remember. So I believe she showed up as just a committed person, but honestly committed to a fault. It worked out. We have 2 beautiful children, and, but it didn't work out because we're divorced. Yeah. So clearly something went wrong.
Yeah.
But, here we are.
Wow. Oh, that was a lot, because as you was explaining your mom, I saw a lot of me in there, that structure and things like that. So I also grew up in a 2-parent household. My dad is from Mississippi. So he's a man, country man. And so he raised us girls as that. I remember being a young girl, not a teenager, young girls, we would cut grass, a lawn, for other people. My dad, this was his business. And I remember cars stopping in amazement that these little girls and their dad was cutting grass. It was normal to us. We didn't know what it was, but people would literally stop their car and be in awe.
I'd be in awe right now if I saw a girl cutting grass.
One would have the lawnmower, one would have the blower, one would have the rake, and my dad always had the edger. But we would cut grass. And so that was our foundation. So my daddy had that, all of us are entrepreneurs now, but it started there. And so also my mom was adopted. So she was independent.
Wow, okay.
And so sometimes my mom and dad clash because my dad is the manly man. My mom is
hyper independent, as you call it now.
Right. And so they actually got divorced when I was 14.
Okay.
So I had the foundation. I was the oldest. And I had the principles, but 14 is still,
I know.
Yeah. because now I'm interested in boys. Yeah. I got involved with an older man. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I notice that girls either search for their dad or search for a dad.
Ooh, yes, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say it again. Yeah. A girl normally search for their dad or they search for a dad. Yeah. So that 14 was I still needed my dad. Still to this day, I still need my dad. Of course. So that happened. And so I come from a family that are Christians, churchgoers. And so my family, our household was the only family that was divorced. So still to this day, everybody's still married. If they're still here, they are married and everybody has their original parents. So it's no step kids, step parents, any of that. So I didn't see my household and my cousins and my aunts and my uncles. I just knew that they stayed. And so it made me question, well, why did our family not make it?
Right. Yeah.
And so what I did was, and I didn't realize this into therapy, my therapist was talking to me. Our household had changed drastically when my dad left. Not just like emotionally, all of those things, spiritually. My mom still had us in church, which was good. But financially, we went from having a 2-story home being built, going to private schools, best neighborhoods, the neighborhoods with 2-parent homes. I've never met anybody that was divorced or single. Like it was like it was like a movie, Wonderland. From then my dad leaving to staying in hotels, being like evicted, having hard times. It's my mom and the girls. And of course I could have stayed with my dad, but right. I'm gonna roll with my mom. So as early on, and my therapist had to bring this to my attention. She said, you are so ambitious because
I was about to say it.
You don't want, and I promised and vowed myself, you could leave.
Right.
But my children's life and lifestyle will not change.
Under no circumstances.
None at all. Mm-hmm. So if I have to work 5, 6 jobs,
I'm
going to work 8. So it was important that they didn't change schools because I went from Xavier Prep to Kennedy.
Yeah.
Two different
schools, but
I love them.
Yeah.
And they both bought me something different.
Yeah.
Xavier Prep bought me that knowledge, that structure. Mm-hmm. That Kennedy bought me that family, those friends, because I'm still best friends with them. I needed both of them because before my dad left, I was sheltered.
Yeah.
All I knew was church, our church goers, church members, in the neighborhoods. That's it.
Yeah.
When I went to Kennedy, I was
it was like, what's going on out here?
What is going on?
Store, what?
There's boys in the class. Thank God I wasn't boy crazy, but it was a different environment, but I needed both. And I don't regret it.
But you know that, and like you said, you own it. You know that because I always use the example of people whose parents were abused, like mother or father, because women do abuse men as well.
Yeah.
That when they come out of that and they become adults, they're like, you will never put your hands on me. That will never be a story. And if you don't, I'll put my hands on you first.
Yeah.
And they watched somebody, got hurt. And so when your mom had to put you in hotel rooms and change schools, you're like, and keep in mind, you just said it, which is very profound. You said, if this ever happens to me, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You almost go into it with an emergency hatch.
Yeah.
So, and it's unfortunate because then you go into being married, but you already have this from your child, this like thing that's tapping your neck going, but if he does this, you know what you got to do.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the family structure, and not saying all families are perfect, but if you have where it's literally ripped from you, or you watch it be ripped from whatever facet, it changes you.
Yeah.
And how you deal with, like you say, how you deal with your partner.
Yeah.
And it's just, it shakes you.
Yep. And you come into the marriage with that.
Yes.
So I already came to the marriage saying, I know I have 400, but I'm going to give you 200. Because that's all you're going to get.
And I got another counterfeit, I got 50 in it just to be sure.
Just in case. You go to acting a fool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was important that I brought that to my marriage. So I came in. So you living a lie. You're not coming with your transparent because I don't really trust you.
No.
Because my dad left too.
Right.
And
that's why when you say at 25, I would have known, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Because you were only just 18 a couple years ago. And you were only just 14, 10 years ago. So it's like, but now at this age, you're like, oh no, I absolutely know what I'm going to do, which is like, how did we get here? Well, I know exactly how I got here and I ain't going back.
Yeah.
So, that's true though.
That's so true. And so when I came to the marriage, I had all this ambition. I was super independent.
Yeah.
Bringing in, I was used to how my dad was, how he ruled our house. When my dad came in, we would take off his boots. We know he was home. My dad would, walk around the house. When he turned the lights off, shut the door, everybody go to their room. You may not go to sleep, but you're not getting up. Yeah. And so I was looking for that for my husband. And my dad eventually came, and set me and my sisters down. He was like, hey, and I think my dad was preparing us for, just in case a man is not there, you're able to survive on yourselves. But we all got married. So he pulled us to the side and said, look, hey, like, I know I showed y'all to be independent, but
chill out.
You don't have to overwork your husband,
Right.
I know I was a person, just an example, and I'm going to be quiet. But I remember telling my husband, my ex-husband at the time, like, hey, can you go cut the grass? And it wasn't fast enough for me. Mm-hmm. And before you know it, you hear, because my dad had already showed me how to cut the grass, how to, do the lawn, how to change the tires. So that could be intimidating to a man who's coming in there saying, well, maybe, does she really need me? Yeah.
And you have to own that. Like I don't always use it, but one of my stories that I regret in my marriage was that when I was like, I think my oldest was probably like 1.
Yeah.
And my ex-husband at the time was working, I think at Folgers Coffee. He's working overnight, like 6 to 6 or 7 to 7, sometime. I don't even know. And I remember one morning, and when I say it, it just makes me cringe, but I remember literally saying to him, he came in one morning, he'd been at work or whatever. And I was like, you should just stay out like till we like, maybe we leave and get to our schedule, when we leave and go to school and to the nursery and stuff. And I remember him looking at me like, well, I mean, I can, and I remember just being like, yeah, because it's either because you come in here and you're loud and, you're taking your shoes off, you got to shower. It's just, it's just a lot. It messes us up. But what it also created the dynamic of, you don't need to be here. I don't need you here. And when you are here, I'm not going to be here.
Wow.
So I always think about that. And I'm not going to say that pushed him to do other things, but I will say I remember that. Yeah. Vividly remember it. And I know it was from a point of childhood with structure, and just being like, I got this, we'll figure it out. And you made the money, that's great. But like, I want her to be good, and I'll be good if she's good. But if you're not good, I can go back and fix that.
Oh, wow.
So, right. And so I always go back to that moment. And I mean, that's like, she's 22. So that's 21 years ago,
So is it safe to say when we come into these marriages and these relationships, we also bring our parents and their things?
Yeah, which is why when I got married, Father Michael, God rest his soul, said, when you have a problem in your house, keep it in your house.
Yeah.
Don't go to the people who raised you. He literally said that at St. Peter. He's like, don't go to those people. They're not you. They can't help you in your house. They say go outside, like what your parents have raised you, hopefully they raised you right, and you go sit with your husband, or you come here to church and you figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't go out. He specifically said not the parents, because the parents have biases for you. So you may find one or two that's like, well, you're wrong, Ebony, but chances are they're gonna be like, he wrong.
Yeah.
Or she's wrong. So yeah, but you bring them in. It's hard not to, but you definitely bring them into the situation.
That is so true. And I do believe that you need to have a confidant. Yep. And 9 out of 10 times it's not your parents, because they're in love with you.
Amen.
Yeah. It's some stories that I'm telling my mom now, because I'm like, it's coming on the podcast. Right. And she's like, wait, I didn't know this was going on.
Yeah.
So it's surprising to her. Yeah. And so it's some disappointment. Now, my parents love my ex. They do. They looked at him as a son. There's some disappointment, but they still care about him. But I can see like the disappointment, like, I didn't know you were going through that. But also a point of that assignment is, I can't say it because I don't need the distraction.
Yeah, it's too much. And then I got to explain to you why I'm over here and living in my own creative hell.
Yeah.
So let's not do that.
And I'm hoping and praying that he turned back around.
So I don't have to tell anybody about it.
I don't have to tell anybody about it.
I know it.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
It's gone. I'll cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be back. Yeah. He gonna be fixed. God gonna do it.
Ooh, he gonna be fixed. Lord.
He can be fixed. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I was thinking about. So that is good. So there's so much that shape us, the childhood, our parents, our morals.
Yeah.
Because on the first show I said, when I was going back and I heard you say you was madly in love, I was like,
I was. And you weren't?
I wasn't.
But keep in mind, I met Max when I was 16. So
okay.
I was mad in love, like kitty love, and then I was mad. Then I was in love again. I was, let me own that. But honestly, it comes from 16 and 17.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you always go back to those cute moments when you're in high school.
Yeah.
But what resonated with me with you when I went back and watched the podcast was that you said you never heard him in your head as being your husband. Like never. I always knew that my ex-husband was going to be my husband. Like I wanted to get married to him before he probably wanted to marry me. Mm-hmm. So, but that's interesting that, and again, it goes back to put it back on me again, but in 2014 saying to myself, this isn't right. And like you said, I knew pretty much out the gate, and we blessed these 3 wonderful souls you gave birth to. But I knew at the gate this probably wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. But I continued on doing it.
Yeah.
Until, as I say, somebody came, higher power, and hit you in the back of your head and go, you got to stop.
Yeah.
Because clearly me putting all these signs in front of you is not enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I did it more morally and for my values. I liked him. Yeah. We was about to stay together.
Yep.
Let's get married.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I was attracted to him. He was attracted to me. We vibed. And I had a little stage where I just was dating. Like I was just dating. And I remember my neighbor, Rudy, he had pulled me to the side. He was like, you have to make a choice. I was hurt. I didn't want to be committed to anything, nobody. And he was like, yeah, you're going to have to make a choice. Like, you going to have to stop all this dating and all that kind of stuff, even though I wasn't sleeping with anybody.
Right.
But he was just like the appearance. And so I was like, okay, well, this guy's the best. And I literally was like, okay.
At least 5. It's you.
5 is you. And so we got, we were vibing and it worked out and we kind of looked alike, for us.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let's get it. let's do it. So we got married and then we learned each other after.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I say now, if I was to get married again, I'm not against marriage.
Yeah.
But that's why I say for me, it's a partner and then it's a wife. Because I need to know who you are.
Who you are.
I can't wake up in the morning and now I know that I don't even know, drink coffee black. And I'm like, why do you drink it like that?
Absolutely.
Something as simple as that. You'd be surprised. Some people's morning routines are so far-fetched than yours. And if you are dating people and you may wake up at their house, okay, cool. But if you spend a day with someone and a night and a morning and their work ethic and when they get up to go to work or do they make lunch, they leave their bed a mess.
Yeah.
That affects you and how you are as an individual. And again, you go, here we go. How did we get here? At 26, I wasn't making up my bed.
Yeah.
So, and maybe at his home, he was. And we actually stayed together before we got married. But I was like, are we making up beds not because we're married? Is that going to, you know what I'm saying? Is that it?
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Because we don't know.
We don't.
You honestly don't know.
Yeah.
And people, and I think let me just take a pause. What makes it even harder is that when you get to this side, where now you have all these dings you want to check off your list, but then it's but wait, he's already built, because when you're 26, y'all are both building each other together and apart. But at 51, I would hope they already built some parts.
Exactly. Exactly. And I was so superficial. I remember saying my grandfather and my dad used to wear these gold watches and have trucks and hard, steel toe boots, and that's what I looked for. I looked for truck drivers, and
he was none of those things.
Yeah, well, he had the truck.
Okay.
He had the watch, but no substance in the inside at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to say anything bad, but I didn't look for anything beyond what I saw my dad and my grandfather present. Now,
different.
You know what's really important for me? Of course, you want the eye to be pleasing.
No, you have to have the eye to be. It's another show, but yes.
Maybe I'm saying this too fast. Maybe I need to go into dating.
Yeah, okay.
But you know what is so appealing to me? Leadership.
Oh, you want to be.
Oh.
Well, you know why? Because you're hyper independent.
Yeah.
So you want somebody, as I always tell you, you need to stop. You need to do it. And then you have to be able to say, okay. Yeah. And when you meet that person,
Lord.
I testify to, you be like, and you're okay with shutting up. You're like, oh.
Okay.
My friend says all the time, she goes, the best advice she got was a dude she was dating. He told her, I'll never forget, he said, sometimes you just shut up and just be pretty. Ooh. I was like, woo. She said, my Lord, it's so hard. I'm going to do all the girl in my heart. I can't do it. But it's true.
Yes.
Because if you are hyper independent, you're just like, what do you mean I can't?
I want you to be a leader.
Yes. Pull me.
Tell me what to do.
And and I say that it's not jokingly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you say you're in here working on the computer, doing 95, but he's like, babe, we really need to watch.
Babe, we want to bed.
We're on to bed. And you're like,
turn the light off.
He was like, excellent. And you're like, oh,
all right, let's go. I thought I was the only one.
No, I need somebody to tell me shut up.
Yeah, and see in my
not the words, but yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm free now.
Oh yeah,
I'm free.
Because it's not a bad thing, because if you are a person that's always been in control and always the dominant personality, and also if you've always been submissive, it's you want to feel comfortable if this person is turn the light off.
It's off.
It's off. You're like,
bye, good night.
So, and that's a good thing, but you also have to know yourself. So, like,
yeah,
a woman that's gonna be like, well, he's a little passive. You're like, girl, I can't nobody's passive.
Yeah,
I can't have a passive person.
Exactly.
It's not waste my time.
Exactly. See, that I'm happy because in my career and at my job, I always had to have the answer. I was always in charge. When I get home,
yes,
I want to be led. I want you to know who you are. I want you to have a relationship with God so that you can lead me.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important for me it's a must that the man that I'm with have a relationship with God, because if you don't have a relationship with God, you don't know what to do with me.
Right. Touche. Yeah.
I need you to know who you are, who he is, and I need you to lead. Not to say I don't have a voice and it's not valued, but I need you to lead, and that is so important to me. Mm-hmm. So when I was going through my little cocoon stage and God said, sit down somewhere, I didn't have anybody in mind, but I had characteristics in mind. That leadership. I need that leadership. I don't care what I am on the outside and leading and all of that kind of stuff. When I'm inside, I need somebody to do that for me. I had a girlfriend who got married recently, and she was like, girl, he make me feel like a princess. And she's a boss and everything. Yeah. But when I say princess,
you're like, what is that?
Girl, I'm interested. Hold up, say it again. Give me what it is. But I understood it. Yeah. I don't care how independent a woman is. She want to be led, but she want to be able to trust you that you can lead her.
Yeah, and not question if I do sit down and be pretty.
Yeah, you got this.
When I get up, everything will be taken care of.
Yeah.
Because if I get up and it's not, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So because it's hard for me to sit down.
Oh, yeah.
On my hands.
Yes.
Because if you sit on your hands, you can't get up.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then sometimes he would get confused with, a dollar amount. Or she brings this amount in. That doesn't make a man to me.
No.
Because it's one pot.
Yes.
I need you. When the pot is full, baby, I need you to be able to this go here. Come on. All right. I got this. Yeah, I'm here.
Sitting and just watching you walk around and run around.
Come on.
The grass.
Yeah. Ooh, and I got some cold water when you come in. But we didn't win on. Yes, leadership, baby. Ooh, that was good. So we talked about the childhood, parents, morals, and values. So what are some coping mechanisms that you picked up to survive when you were going through those things? Once that woman showed up, and you had that little rough patch in 2014, what were some of those mechanisms?
To stay till 2017?
Yeah.
My kids. And what it looked like on the outside.
Yeah.
I was a person that was, like you say, materialistic. I was more like, what does it look like visually? So like my kids, like you say, the private schools, we're in the home and all these things. We've been together for a while. So I was very worried about not even my reputation, but more so of what it was going to look like if I shook the tree too hard.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just stay and we'll figure it out. And then unfortunately for us, it just got worse because then his mom passed and that shook him. So death becomes a whole different thing I believe for men more so than this for us, because they lose. My dad always says when you lose a parent, you lose your moral compass, because you don't have anyone to think about that you may find out what you're doing if you're very close to them. Mm-hmm. So and in death you still remember them, but if you know they're still walking on this earth, and you'd be like, well, damn, I wonder what my dad would say that, or my mom would say that. You're kind of like, I don't know about that. So I believe that changed our relationship. So the coping mechanism was just basically, I'm just gonna grin and bear it.
Grin and bear it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be okay. And if we get along today, I remember one time one of my friends, him and I got in this huge fight during maybe Monday or Tuesday, and he would be gone. And then he came home on that Friday, and we were going to dinner. I remember her saying, "Well, you're not gonna talk to him about how you were just cutting up, and you were just cutting up on Tuesday." And I remember saying, "Well, he's only here for a little time. He's only here Friday to Monday. So what's the point of us fighting for the next 3 days? And the kids, it's a lot for them, and they have stuff going on. I don't want to really rock the boat. I should have rocked the boat, shook the boat, put holes in the boat, but just didn't. I was like, well, it'll be fine." And then unfortunately, what it'll be fine became 2017 of just well, it ain't fine no more. So I have to get out of this. I can't continue down this path. But that's the thing. So I just learned to cope. And that's just a horrible place to be in. You're with someone, you see him come in the door, and you're just you don't even know how they're going to be. You're hoping that you don't get Jekyll, you get Hyde. And you just don't, and it's out of your control. Yeah. So you just wait and see, well, is he, okay, we're in a good mood. Okay, cool. Well, let me tell him about how the kid's day was today. But wait, he's not, I'm just going to walk in my room and watch TV. Yeah. And let him just, do whatever. So it's just not healthy. Yeah. And my question to people would be, I never figured out what to do to get past that. Like, I never had the courage to say, we really didn't have a real conversation about this. I was like, oh, we'll figure it out. My parents did it. You know, they stayed married for God knows how long, too long. But we'll figure it out. And the kids, and I remember saying, like, my oldest had to be maybe 10 at the time. And I remember saying, well, just 10 more years and she'll be gone, you know. 10, like a prison sentence.
Yeah.
She just learned to cope.
Yeah, learning how to cope. Yeah, I wonder how many people learn how to cope. I think I always, like I said, ambition, working, going to school, getting another degree. I think that's where I spend a lot of my time. I also grieved a year for my late best friend. And so...
Oh, yeah. And that shook you.
Shook me.
That's what I'm saying. If you lose a person like that, it changes.
It changes
life,
everything.
The way you look at life changes.
Yeah.
The way you one of my friends just lost her daughter. And I know she said, the girl, I never know what life is going to look like ever again. Like,
yeah. What do you do?
What do you do with that? It changes. And you can't say it doesn't because it has to.
Yeah. I mean, and then I noticed too, in grief, you stop, but the world keeps going.
Oh, yeah, fast.
Like, it continues. And I know that my ex felt lonely when I was grieving because that's when we started having the problems. And I remember Nakia's mom telling me, you still have a family. I can't afford to grieve. She's my daughter. You can't. But I wasn't getting what she was saying because I was in so much pain. Yeah. And so that year after Nick, I spent the whole year like literally grieving. And then what I did was I took the grief and worked. So I would work until 12, 1 o'clock, avoiding. Yeah. So I'll be like, Nikki, I'm doing it for us. I'm doing it for us. And, you know, that was my driving force. I remember there was this one incident. Now I'm thinking about it. My ex-husband probably had been, no, I'm not going to say probably. He had been checked out by this time. Yeah. I would be at the office. And at the time, my office was on St. Charles. Mm-hmm. And I used to share this floor with attorneys, but they would be gone. You know, Black women, we have to work all times of the night, mornings, whatever. So I would be in the office like 12 a.m., 1 a.m. And there was this one guy. And he would call my number. And at first, I thought he was looking for an attorney. And this got me accidentally. But he would call me by my name, but he called me on my personal number. And when I first started business, I had my personal numbers. So I was like, okay. He said he Googled me. I was like, oh, you need to talk to an attorney, da-da-da-da-da. So the guy would call every day. One morning, it was 12 a.m. Mm-hmm. He came in, and so in my office at St. Charles, there's this fog, a sheet that's around your door, but there's a clear strip that if you peep in, you can see. But if you had to use the restroom, if I had to go out, go to my car, to my anything to go home, I would have to go out. But I'm working 12 a.m. Do you know this man showed up at my office at 12 a.m. looking in the thing? I can recognize his voice. It's the same guy that's calling me. So I don't know how long he had been watching me, but this is what really I knew my ex-husband had been checked out. I had told him, I was like, is this guy? He keep calling. He said, well, I won't be able to get to you all the time. You're going to need to get a gun.
Damn.
Yeah.
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 That's about as checked out as you can
checked out as. Yeah. But this is after grief of year. This is a year of building my business. Yep. And I was like, what? And even then when I heard it, it wasn't as cold. But when I look back, I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Gun? Yeah. You can't come get me.
But you said it so, again, what you said, but I also know because people want to stay right here and say, well, he told me he couldn't come and he did. And you're like, yeah, but I kind of understand now why. Because for a year I was gone, missing. He watched me be gone. He has to be committed to someone else when he was committed to me for a year.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
And then before that, I was so, driven in my job that he also watched me do that.
Yeah.
So he didn't just, how did he get there? He didn't get there that one night.
Yeah.
That's what we forget. You don't get there in one night. You get there from over a time. And nobody wakes up and just angry like that or just distant like that.
Yeah.
I should say. It happened.
And I'm going to be honest. I was missing, because it's easy to point the finger outward.
Always.
I was missing in my home. I did not know what was going on in my home. Mm-hmm. And I will go everywhere. And this is all around the time, the movies. This is the time that I'm, speaking engagements. I remember coming home, taking off clothes, slipping on others in my clothes. I was absent. I was not there for him at all. Right. I wasn't there for him. I wasn't there for the kids. Only thing I know was the end goal is
money.
Because
if I have this money, y'all will be fine.
You'll be fine.
When my mama did it, she didn't have no money.
Yeah.
So in case this happens and he does clock out, I can clock back in immediately.
Yeah.
So, and that's what it becomes. And it's like really a fear of flight. It's what's it called? Run or you fly, whatever the thing is.
Yes.
Because you're so fearful in your head that.
Yeah.
And that's why I know I stayed because in 2014, I was like, ain't no way I can maintain this house.
Yeah.
Like, where am I going to go?
Yeah.
So when I got to 2017, I was like, oh, no, I got to get the hell out of here. This ain't going to, no, this isn't healthy. Like, this isn't for anyone. So,
absolutely.
But it's.
Yeah, you'll lose yourself quick. Ooh. Especially if you think in the end goes, remember, I'm thinking I'm retiring them out. Everybody's going to, at the end of this.
10 computers.
Yeah, we're going to have generational wealth. Yes. You're going to be able to work here. You're going to get a business. You're going to get a business. You're going to get a business. Yeah. They're like, no, I didn't ask for that. No. Yeah. And so my kids told me literally after we got separated, it was like, I'm just getting to know who you are. That broke my heart. I would come home every day and you just getting to know who I am. Yeah, I'm just starting to get to know. Yeah.
And think about, so then you go into kids who are like, who are you?
Yeah.
Your partner who you laying with every night and it was like, I don't know this girl.
Yeah.
And it's just.
And I'm thinking I'm doing a good thing with money. And my daughter is saying, yeah, I don't know you. I didn't know you.
If you like chicken, I don't even know.
So I had to quick. Now.
Yeah, they know you well now.
They know me well.
They're like, you know too much.
Tell us too much. But you have to do a little self-check. You got to do.
Yeah.
So, and then another thing, last thing with coping mechanism was eating. I
starved. So my thing, I starved myself.
Oh.
So I'm the person, it's the weirdest thing, but it's factual. So when I'm stressed out, the stress feeds me.
So
I'm full on the stress. So I'm just full on the anxiety, the depression. So I lost ridiculous, like 30 pounds over a course of like maybe a year because I was just like, I couldn't eat. Like I had a friend of mine tell me, you need peanut butter, oatmeal, something, or you're going to starve yourself.
Yeah.
But when you're going, like you say, if you're overeating or if you're not eating, you don't know what to do because you still have to function. I still have little people I have to take care of. Mm-hmm. So I can't even, this is all I have is to not eat.
Yeah.
Because if I do anything else,
yep.
You know.
And mine is different. Well, mine is two different. If it's something that's news that's devastating, I lose weight. Like I lost 13 pounds when my ex-husband and I first, but my day-to-day was overeating, but I realized that was me bringing my childhood into my marriage because I correlated eating with happiness and comfort because when my dad was with us, we would go to the fine restaurants or we would go to the Sizzlers or the Morrisons or the Jack Dempsey's.
Morrisons. Oh.
Everybody together. Yeah. With my mom and the kids. Yes, and absolutely. So that brought me happiness.
Absolutely.
So then that's how I get to 385 pounds because I'm searching for happiness in the food and comfort in the food. So, and then that was something that my ex also struggled with. So if you meeting together,
even though we're unhappy, we're still happy.
You want to get a pizza?
You want pizza?
That's make us happy today.
It will take. It'll be good.
Exactly. So that was a coping mechanism to me. Yeah. So how do you heal? So now that we talked about our childhood and parents and families, morals and coping mechanisms, how do we let our viewers know? How do you start to heal that wounded girl? Because sometimes I'm not going to say sometimes. You have to go back and go get that little girl that eventually becomes or is currently a wife.
So for me, I had to forgive her.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to forgive her because when I got out of it, I was so mad because my ex-husband cheated, which is not a secret. And I was so mad with myself because I just was such an avoidant. And then when I did the work and got out of it and started reading 85,000 books on relationships and communication, I remember I was working out one day in the park and it was raining, like you said. And I literally started screaming at myself. And then I think it was the word of God. I was just like, forgive yourself. Like you didn't know. Like you didn't. And this was probably like 2020 during COVID. It's like, but you didn't know. And she didn't know. The 16-year-old you didn't know. The 35-year-old didn't know. 40, like she didn't know. And the person you are now knows. And it'll never happen again. But you got to forgive her to be able to move forward. So once I literally said to myself, I forgive you. Just make sure it doesn't happen again. And use the tools that you have written on and journaled on and listened to so that you'll be able to get in a better relationship with another person because you got to own your stuff. Like there was something I made mistakes. And like I said, telling my ex-husband not to come home and which is just insane to say, but I had to forgive her. And once I did that, like clearly, like consciously said, I'm good with you. We're going to be okay. Because you have to forgive the little girl who at 13 saw her parents separate. But they created a little girl at 14 who knew her parents were just not meant to be together under any circumstances. Forgive her for not saying more or not being more boisterous. And then when you get into marriage, forgive her for not knowing how to do the things to stay or even to get out. So I had to forgive myself. So once I did that, everything just opened up. Like literally, once I forgave myself, because it was like 2020 COVID, I built the business in 2021.
Yeah.
So I literally was just in a holding pattern with myself because I didn't know. Like you said, your kids had never seen you really be strong. Mine hadn't either.
Yeah.
So I think once we pushed the button, we're accidental entrepreneurs, but once we started down the path, me first and then my oldest and then my youngest, it was like, okay, we got this. But you got to forgive her or him. You have to forgive them because you don't know.
Absolutely.
You don't know.
That is so good.
Yeah.
That you said about forgiveness.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Yeah, girl, I had to forgive her, girl. I was beating her up. Oh, I was talking about her so bad.
So the adult was upset or disappointed with the
adult was upset with the past adult.
Gotcha.
And also even more upset with the child. So it just became, and it was so gut punching and gut wrenching because I knew that's what it was. Because I was just such a passive person that to now be where I'm more like, you're not going to do that, or I'm not going to take that. The girl in my head was like, well, why not? I was become a recovering people pleaser. That's what I tell people.
Oh, people pleasing.
Extremely recovering people pleaser. So to figure that out and be like, you don't have to say yes to everything and everyone. Include partners, job, work, kids, whatever level you want to do it in. But if that's who you are, you have to forgive her and say, we don't need to do that anymore. It's okay to stay home until you're not forgive yourself.
Yeah.
So forgive yourself. Once you forgive yourself, then the new person, you said the cocoon. Like I was in a cocoon, I think, for a long time, just covered up and cowering and not. And then my friends changed. I started working out really heavy with this wonderful group of girls who I worked out with for almost 2 years. And they were so strong and focused and, moms. And one was going to get her freaking doctorate as a physician's assistant and stuff. And the other one was running her own business. So my circle changed a little bit. But once I forgave her, things just started changing.
Yeah.
So, but that's the hardest thing because you just get so angry with yourself. Like you just want to make sure that you don't hurt yourself or harm yourself in your mind. But I was just angry. I was just like, I can't believe I let this happen to myself where like, how did we get this far? Like, how did we let this go this far? And then for him, how did you let this get this far? You weren't happy either.
Oh, wow.
So why didn't you say something? Why were you willing to do things you did, cheat or whatever, etc.?
Yeah.
When you could have just said clock out.
Yeah.
So there's a storyline for them as well. Like you could have said you didn't. And I think it's the same thing that we say. They say, well, if I leave, I gotta do this and I gotta go there. And and it's like, but you're you literally are just watching yourself just fade away. Yeah. So,
that is so good. Yeah. I think too, when infidelity occurs in your marriage, even though that's how it hurt, the conversation, the missing conversation, that talk. Because at the end of the day, like you still we friends. Right. Look, dog, look, I'm getting a little weak right here. Yeah. Like da 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 da. At any point, did the friend come up? That was the part that kind of bothered me a little bit.
Well, that's right, because you're like, I thought we were partners.
Yeah.
And clearly we're not. Like, because a friend wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Would have said, because your friends, you're telling them 85 ways not to do what they're doing. But you're just like, well,
Yeah.
You're fine.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that missing conversation is the thing that stung and hurt in my gut as is.
Did y'all have a conversation?
No.
See, I didn't either. I just found out.
Yeah, the dreams.
Yeah. No, girl, no. Mine was like, oh, this is what's going on? Well, okay. Well, okay. Well,
yeah.
Here we are. No, I wish a dream would have probably been easier on me.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? Actually, it wouldn't have been. A dream, I probably would have denied it.
Yeah, remember, I was in denial. I didn't know it was me.
Yeah, I would have been like, that's not me.
Yeah. I would have the dream and tell it to him.
Yeah.
Like it was a movie. Yeah, so God said, da 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 da. You know that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. And then, and some people say, why did you go off to the movie? Well, I had to go off to the movie because I was money, but also I was so busy. Yeah. I had to go do the movie to be in seclusion, to hear from God. Because I didn't like the movie. I didn't really enjoy the movie at all, the experience.
It removed you from the situation.
It removed me.
Yeah, get clarity.
Yeah, I'm not seeing clients. I'm not busy building websites.
Going down. That's what COVID did for me.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
I loved COVID. People say that. I'm like, but I'm sorry people died. Don't get me wrong. I really am. But it's slow. I'm a hyper person.
Yeah.
And my children, I don't think, we ever had a chance to grieve him being gone. We just kept going. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, but once you remove yourself and you're in the hotel room and you're just like, oh.
Yeah. God said, you're not going to listen. You're too busy. Yeah. I'm going to get this talent agent to talk to this person.
Yeah.
You're going to go do this movie.
Yes.
You're going to have room off the set. You're going to go in this hotel and I'm going to give you some dreams. I'm going to get you back. And I'm just telling the dreams. Yeah.
I always say when I found out that my ex was cheating, I remember I was in my house and my house is in a split. And like kitchen and living room and then bedrooms. And I remember just the words came in my head. Like God was just like, you can do one of two things. You can either go in there and talk about it, or you can stand here. But whichever one you decide is going to change your life forever. So you decide which one you want to go, which pool you want to jump into. And I remember standing there going, it's going to change my life. But I just can't. I cannot keep acting going. Like this is real. Like this is. I'm imagining things.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history. But it's I tell people it is, and that's why I believe like it's the hardest decision to make because you really don't want to believe this is what you're going through.
Yeah.
Even if you have all those things you're saying, like you weren't here and there and everywhere, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you still don't want this to be your reality.
No.
You just don't.
Now that you said, I think I blamed her because she wasn't at home. So I had said, this what comes when you're not available. So I took him going out is my fault.
Oh.
I went on the whole tour.
Right.
Telling women, don't do this, do this, do this. I had to close the business. I didn't downgrade because his income did anything different in our house. I downgrade because I heard the church girl is you need to be at home. Shut that business down. It's time. You're doing too much.
Yeah.
And so my business requires my creativity and my brain. So now I'm not creative. I can't think ahead of my clients because I'm clouded here. Mm-hmm. I'm having anxiety, panic attacks, trauma, mental breakdowns, brain fog. Yeah. So now I have imposter syndrome. So now I don't deserve to have clients. Ooh. Go home. You did too much because I heard my girlfriend saying, I think you need to be at home. So then that voice got louder. So my downgrade was go to your 9 to 5 where you can go and you can do this with your muscle memory. It doesn't require your mind. It doesn't require your heart. Just start shutting down. You don't deserve it because you missed 2 years. And that's what happened when you leave your house open is that this happened. Oh. So I chased him. Ooh. Said, I'm sorry. And then it really hurt me one day when I went to his job. God had gave me a dream. Wow. And I saw his tears in my dream. Real life situations when he was trying to talk to me. Mm. And I woke up and I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize because the ego come up and how you gonna do this to me? You know, but when I had that dream, it humbled me. Yeah. But I was embarrassed because when I went to his job, I didn't even know what department he worked in. Ooh, couldn't find a man.
Yeah.
And then opened up my eyes. He looking at me.
I came back.
I would think he was saying, babe.
Hey, yeah. Hey, hello.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Right. Why are you here?
And I was like, I'm so sorry. Da 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 da. And so I had went on for a while thinking this is what I deserve.
Yeah.
And then I said to myself,
oh, wow.
You have to take accountability on your part, yes. But his decision was his decision.
Amen.
But it took me a while to get there.
And we are all grown ups. It does not matter. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And if y'all had a real transparent conversation, he would say to you, as Mike said to me, it had nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Like it didn't, you could have done, girl. He was like, and if I'm honest, like it wouldn't have. And I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I needed to hear that. It was like, yeah, people tell you, oh, you should have quit your job.
Yes.
He was like, we're still going to do.
Yes.
I'm grown.
Yeah.
Like if you go to the job and you say to him, like you say, you go in, let's have lunch. And you go home. Yeah. He's still by himself.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And as a little girl, yep. I saw when my mom and my dad would have their disagreements and the women just would come and cook, take care of the children and bring them. So you stay. That's what I saw. You stay.
Yeah. Till you don't.
Till you don't.
Yeah.
So that's what I shut this all down because you was doing too much. Anyway. Yeah. Go home and get this together.
But then so of course we get to the next point, which is now how do we get here? And then if you journey down the path of marriage again, what would you do different? So I know for me and for you as well, we both run businesses.
Yeah.
So I would say my partner has to really understand that I run a business.
Bingo.
And then I might have to get up and go pick up a dog.
Yeah.
You know, which has happened in the middle of a date.
Yeah.
And you have to accept that. And I also need you to be supportive of what this looks like for me when it comes to my time.
Yes.
So, but not bendable to the point where I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But just know this is what I have going on. I also have 3 kids. I have 2 kids. So like, what does that look like for you? So I think we're more communicative on to our new person of like, what does this look like for you? I always tell people when dating, like you have to date someone to really know them for all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Because you meet me at the beginning of the year, my daughter ain't in school right now. You meet me in May, she's about to get out of school. You meet me in August, she's going back to school. You meet me in December. So it's like all those things change. So you don't really know who I am until you've gone through a year. And then once you've gone through the first year, the second year, you're like, okay, well, I remember when I met you in January that like she had the tournament in February. I got the plan. So they have to be conscious of what you have going and also not jealous of you.
Ooh.
Because if they ain't running businesses.
You said a mouthful.
Yeah. I mean, so if you think about, like you said, you were trying to pull him in and he might have been like, I can't even compete.
He said something like that. He was like, where do I fall at? So then he started questioning, not in my life, but where do I fall at as be? And then people started saying, oh, you Ebony husband. Ooh. So then I lost my name.
Yeah.
My kids lost their names. Oh, you Ebony daughter.
Yeah.
Or you they knew Lance.
Yeah.
You Ebony daughter. You Ebony husband.
Yeah.
So then when he had the podcast, then he had his identity.
Right.
You know, all that around that time. But yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is so it's making so much. But like you said, I had to go back and you said forgive. I had to go back and trace. Oh. So when I traced, then I was able to give grace. So when I traced back and said, went back into the woman that showed up with my ex, I was already wounded. I was already bringing my daddy issues. I had another relationship with Lance's dad, so I was bringing that. Then I had to trace that back to him. Mm-hmm. And then he was older, but he was a provider, you know, but emotionally he couldn't give me what I need. But then I go trace back and say, well, if my daddy was at home, I wouldn't got with an older man. So then I had to go back to my dad. And then I had to address the things with my dad. And I'm a daddy's girl. But then my dad gave me something he didn't have. So then I had to trace it back to my grand. And before you know it, you giving everybody grace and was like, they did the best that they...
At the time. They did the best they could at the time.
The best that they could.
That's just honest. And if you watched our first episode, you have to go back and get the wife that you were then and tell her it's okay.
It's okay.
Like, and we're going to be okay.
Yes.
And we for hopefully positive they're going to do it again.
Yes.
Because I got to come back and get you. Because you didn't know and you were only doing what you knew from your dad.
Yep.
From your mom.
Yep.
From your church family. From your friends.
Yep.
This is all I know.
That's all I know.
So I got to forgive her. Give her grace.
Yes.
Stop resenting her.
Yes.
And move on.
Yes.
And then that's how you get here.
That's how you get here.
Yeah.
And therapy.
And
transparent and journaling and exercising. And it's like you said, that partner that comes in now.
Oh, yeah.
I can't dim my light.
Oh,
they're going to have to come with their light. I got to come with my light. We're going to shine together. Yeah. And then we have communication. Yeah. I think for a long time, my light will shine. And then I'll look. If I'm honest, he was way back there.
Oh, yeah, girl.
I left him way, you know how you be in the river?
He probably is like that.
I kept seeing he kept getting smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. I see you. And so what happened was, then I did my light. Yeah, and I go back and come get you. Because I see you in that speck. I love you. I want you to come with me.
Can you come a little closer? I gotta go. I'm too far. I'll be back.
Let me dim this down.
Yeah, no.
And come back.
And think about how many people now currently, especially in the age we live in now with social media and being an influencer, women, men who are at home, who work from home, who are thinking about, I really want to do a job change.
Yeah.
But the way my life is set up, I can't tell this person because we don't communicate.
We don't communicate.
And it'll change our whole dynamic. It'll change what we look like. It'll change. Yeah. But I really feel like I can do it. But you're so scared to push it forward because you're like, well, I don't want to rock the boat. Yeah. We're good right here. And but you're also suffering in silence, which is just.
Yeah. And then the thing about it is too, is that I saw him so big. My potential, what I wanted was so big. I wanted, and I didn't. I think what happened was I took the potential and I placed it on him, and he brought so much value. I didn't see who he was. He didn't see who I was.
Yeah.
And the further he got apart, not that it was a big eye. It wasn't none of that. It's just that life got in between us.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you didn't bring value. You didn't have substance. We just was doing two different things. Yeah. And then the kids got in between us. My dream got in between us. What you wanted got in between us. Right. All of this stuff. And I see you. And then you so far.
Right.
Every year you got further and further and further. And I'm more than sure when he looked in his review.
He was like, where's she at?
Yeah. I don't know. She back there.
I think she two cars back there.
And so at some point you stop looking.
Yeah. And so when you get out of it, how do we get here? And you're like, but when I really think about it, I'm not condoning the behavior by any means. But I have to accept that I played a part.
I played a part in this.
So we can sit here and say, oh, men cheating is horrible. Women cheat too. Let's be clear. But, and I'm not saying that my actions would have prevented. I don't think they would have. But I know for sure, concretely, there are things I could have done differently.
Yeah.
Like, hands down.
And I spoke to a woman, to be honest and transparent. That lady said, I knew when you was gone. I knew what, because she's following me on social media. Oh, she gonna be out of town on here. She gonna be over here.
Watching.
And, watching. And then you giving him everything that I'm not. You cooking, you baking, you showing up.
A ear.
Yeah.
Simple. I think worst cheating is people having sex conversation and phone calls.
Yeah.
You can sleep with anybody. But if you over there chit-chatting. I podcast people, don't recommend hijacking somebody's phone logs.
Yeah.
Don't do it because it'll kill you in your heart. You see somebody's talking to this person,
10 times.
This person, and how many phone calls you got to put the voicemail.
Early mornings.
Don't, girl.
They didn't got your schedule.
Oh,
you didn't die 10 times and woke up. 10 times you still dead. You're making me wrong. And so she did. She said, yeah, butterfly, I'm going to run a circle around you because she hadn't figured me out.
Yeah,
I know you before you knew me.
Oh, yeah, mine too. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but that guy, he looked high and looked low.
Oh, yes.
He said, daughter, go do that movie. When you come back, I got you. So I thank God. He probably said, daughter, you ain't going to catch this. I got to take you out. Come here. I got to take you out.
Yeah, I gotta take you. And that's what people don't realize. Like, I tell this joke all the time.
Yeah.
That there's this man in the ocean. And while he's in the ocean, a cruise ship comes. And he's like, no, God's going to save me. And then the next one is, what do you call that? Let's go with a yacht. Uh-huh. They're like, we came, we saw you, get on the yacht. And he's like, no. And next thing is another little fisherman come. He's like, no, God's going to save me. He dies. He gets to heaven and he's like, God, I waited for you. So I sent you 3 people.
Oh, did y'all hear that?
3.
3.
You ignored all 3 of them.
And that was me.
And that's why you're here.
Yes, absolutely.
You can see all these signs. You say you were doing this and you were doing that and the money was good and he kept getting like this.
Further and further.
Like I said, he in Slidell and we out here.
Yeah.
I still can't see him, but I think he's out there somewhere.
I think he's still out there. Yeah.
Because I believe he's not going to go anywhere.
Oh.
So if I can't see him.
Yeah, he there. Yeah, the kids there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been here. Yeah. We've been doing this. You good. You good, I'm good.
So not good.
Yes, so not good. So yeah, absolutely. God look high. And I really believe in a statement where God would allow your heart to be broken to correct your vision.
Oh, yes.
See, now going into a relationship, that communication. Come on, babe. Come on, let's talk.
Yeah,
how you feeling?
Yeah, I overtalk.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Now I'm discerning. Yeah. I can pick up things. I can feel things. Yeah.
And you should, because if you're connected to someone, we talked about it often. I'll say it on here. One of the things I learned, I research, is that when you're with people, like we're talking in this nice, calm voice, and we're talking. And then if I get mad and I'm still like this, and you're like, well, girl, I don't care what you say. We ain't doing the podcast on Thursday. And I'm like, we should. You're like, no. And I start going, we're doing. So you're screaming because your hearts are no longer connected. The screaming, you feel like it's going to make you hear me clearer. But when I was talking to you 10 years ago, I wasn't screaming at you. That's how we got married. So you weren't yelling at me. You weren't hollering at me. But now I feel like I got to scream to pull you back in. Nobody listens to anybody screaming. So that's why it's always important to really try to have clear cut communication in a normal voice, because once you get out of your normal voice from your heart, you're done.
That makes sense. So that's why at the end, a woman gets silent. Because in the beginning, we're talking, we're fussing, we're screaming, we're crying, we're tears. But we're going to keep talking.
So we're not.
Until we're not. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's so good. Yeah. Oh, this was a good show.
I know.
This was good. This is good. So our next episode is What did he say?
Oh yeah, what did he say? What did you hear?
Yeah, what is that about?
So that's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite sayings because we'll hear what somebody says, especially when you're in the dating perspective.
Yeah.
Or just dealing with people in general, I should say. But like you'll hear that a dude can say, well, I'm using an example. This girl was saying that this guy she went out with, and she had started talking to him, and he was like kind of, sketchy texting. And the night they went out, he was like, text me when you get home. And she's like, well, she said to herself, well, I've been home doing this for 2 weeks. You've never said text me when you get home. And so she was like, that made her believe like, oh, it's going to change because he said text me when you get home because the last 2 weeks he never said that. And so she was looking for the next text message the next day because he had changed the dynamic that one text message.
Oh.
And she was like, well, next thing he didn't say, did you make it home? I was like, yeah, because that's not what he said. He just said, text me when you get home. Literally, text me when you get home. You heard, I'll text you for the next 20 years to see if you're home. So the dynamic of what she thought that one few little 6 words were changed the next day because he didn't do it. And she was like, well, I don't understand because that's what he sent me the day before. But that's not what he said. He just said a simple thing. Just said, I'll text you when I get home. So we read in this stuff as people and we expect actions from those words. But that's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
He didn't say, I'm going to keep texting you every day for the next 95 bazillion years. He just said, text me when you get home. And it's like what you heard. Oh, this is it. We transferred from the 2 weeks of just chit-chatting and saying good night and hello to we're now in the stage of, did you make it home? No, you're not. You're in the same stage you was in 24 hours ago when you went to dinner with him. So it's like, what did he say and what did you hear? Did you, and why are you making this up and why are you creating a dynamic that ain't even what they said?
That is so good. Because they could also say, oh, he cares.
Absolutely.
He cares.
And the next day he don't.
Oh, and then my feelings hurt.
Beyond words.
Because you said
text me next day. You didn't text me. You'd be like, well,
what?
You were driving far, and I was like, I want to make sure you made it home.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah. And we have to be careful, too, as women, because we're so emotional. We're going to talk about that.
Yes.
This is good.
This is really good.
Yes.
Really good.
So make sure that you like, share, and subscribe.
Hopefully.
Touch the thumbs up button, please.
You have to touch it.
Subscribe, share on your social media sites, everything. I'm so happy. We are happy that you're here.
When are we coming back?
We're coming back on the 16th, February 16th.
Yes. Yeah. Y'all can watch it when y'all are getting ready for your Mardi Gras festivities the next day.
Absolutely.
It's Lundi Gras in New Orleans that day. So,
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Any closing remarks before we close out in prayer?
I always say it's having these conversations. I'm always amazed of like how I got here because when I say it out loud, it's insane. I'm so thankful for the journey. Yeah. But like you say, hearing it and speaking on it is just that's why I had so much anxiety when we started talking. I was like, oh God, wait, I'm a little calm that down a little bit.
Me too. I'm gonna have to watch it from the viewer side.
Yes, that's always
because we said a lot today. Yeah. We said a lot. Nah, I'm not gonna disappear on social media this week. I don't have time for all of that. But I'm gonna end us in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you, God. We thank you for this time that we spent, oh Father God. God, I thank you, God, for the new women and the new men that you're creating in us, oh God. God, thank you for healing. Thank you for transparency, God. Thank you for being the center. Thank you for forgiveness, Father God. Thank you for mending broken hearts, oh God. We ask that you direct our paths, oh Father God. We love you. We adore you. Until we meet again, we love you. Yay! How did we get here? Podcast, episode 2.
2 for the books.
2 for the books. All right, y'all. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.